I'm fighting against pride, especially with like doing music and doing it solo. I don't want to be that guy where it's just like, where I'm getting a big head, you know what I mean? And the praise is really like becoming like my motivation, you know what I mean? Because I know that if I'm not careful, that can end up happening. Become less. So this is probably definitely my favorite song on the project. I feel like this song kind of embodies pretty much where I'm at in life, the season that I'm in, the season of, fatherhood, having a young family, being married and just learning to be present, and the beginning of the song I talk about, my kids, life's different. I got kids in the back seat. They got their questions. I tell them to ask Jeeves. I'm not sure if people remember Ask Jeeves, but it used to be like a search engine where you just ask questions and Jeeves would give you the scoop and give you the rundown. So anyways, but yeah, kids, they ask their questions. They got millions of questions and it can be draining, but it's also an awesome time to just, you're it, you're who they go to. So, just embracing the season and I'm a barber, so I had a client. I feel like I have so many clients, they talk about their kids and, especially my clients that have older kids, they always say the same thing, like, oh, enjoy it. It goes by quick. And it's so funny because like when you're in it, like it doesn't feel quick. It feels like, yo, this is going on forever. But they all say it. So it's just like, obviously that is true. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be, have my kids older and I'm older and then have regrets and be like, oh man, I wish I was more present. So that's definitely a season that I'm trying to embrace, like where I'm just like being in the moment and trying to be present, even if they have a million questions, just trying my best to answer them or, go on Google and figure things out. And then the journey that I'm in as far as music goes, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing music since 2007. I started in a group, Chosen Generation, and that evolved into Beyond Music. So for a while, I've been like kind of in this group setting, but I've always had that like that feeling, of, maybe there being more, but I always kind of like just kind of like put that to the side out of fear of like, either fear of like, not thinking that like I'm good enough or I could make it on my own, or just fear of rejection, or just like not wanting to get out of my comfort zone. Because when you're in a group, you know what I mean? Like all I got to do is write one verse, and so when you're doing your own music, obviously there's a lot more that's required. So, but yeah, I just feel like, with this where I'm at right now with music, is definitely like something that I'm just really trying to kind of like lock in with, and not just lock in for the sake of like, yeah, I want to do this. I've arrived and I want to like make it as a rapper. Cause like, that's definitely like not my heart. You know what I mean? Like, it's just knowing that like I couldn't shake that that there was something else there. And there was a lot of confirmations, Pastor Marco and different people like saying, hey, like, you ever think about doing your own project? So like, this is really just kind of like me trying to be obedient, but again, you have those voices that come into your head like, yo, you're 36, you're about to be 36. What are you over here doing? You're trying to be a rapper, you know what I mean? It's like, but that's not it. Like maybe like if I would have came out prematurely and tried to like be a rapper, maybe it would have felt forced or whatever. But like where I'm at right now, like I feel like I'm just like in this flow of like how God is moving me, and I don't feel like I'm like trying to be a rapper. It's just like, this is just part of who I am. Like God's giving me these songs or whatever, but I definitely don't want to be like the Snoop Dogg of like Christian rap and just like rap when I'm like mad old. So hopefully I got good people on my corner that tell me when I need to stop. But so far people are telling me to keep going. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then the later part of the song just talks about like, hey, like this is a fight, it's a fight. I'm fighting against pride, especially with like doing music and doing it solo. I don't want to be that guy where it's just like, where I'm getting a big head, you know what I mean? And the praise is really like becoming like my motivation, you know what I mean? Because I know that if I'm not careful, that can end up happening. And you know, and I've seen that before. You know, you can be a Christian rapper and be no different from, you know, somebody who's, you know, making secular music. You know what I mean? Like you know, the songs might be about God, but like your heart and your motives can be like way off, and when you're doing things for the likes and for the comments, for the praise. So I'm trying to really like hone in on that and just constantly like remember like my why and like why I'm doing this. And but yeah, it's a fight. So I talk about like, you know, I'm fighting against my pride, I'm fighting against complacency, I'm fighting against selfish ambition, I'm fighting against laziness, all these things. That's a constant fight. And and the title of the song is Become Less in all these areas. In order for me to get, you know, to be my best self and to be in this purpose that God has for me, I have to deny myself. I have to deny myself as a father. You know what I mean? Like, I might not want to always be present or play hungry hippos or whatever, but that's what they want to do. And I have to deny the way I feel. You know what I mean? Same thing with being a husband. I got to deny myself. Same thing as being an artist. And that's kind of like where the tension is, because it's like I'm by myself doing this, but it's just like at the same time, like even though I'm on the stage and I'm in the songs, like still like I want to decrease as well. Like I want God to be elevated, and and just becoming less in all those other areas. It's about denying myself, killing the flesh, and so Become Less, like I said, is definitely like kind of embodies this whole entire season that I'm in with parenthood, being a husband, doing this music thing, and just life in general.